Helene was a wake-up call. This is literally catastrophic. And I can say without any dramatization whatsoever, if you choose to stay in one of those evacuation areas, you're going to die.
Wow. I mean,
that's the mayor of Tampa, Florida, speaking on Hurricane Milton. It's expected to hit the same area in Florida that Hurricane Helene damaged 2 weeks ago. Yes, Tampa Bay is bracing for its strongest storm in over 100 years. Now a Category 5, it's expected to drop to a Category 4 upon landfall in Florida. Forecasters warned that Milton could bring a 10 to 15-foot storm surge to Tampa Bay, resulting in evacuation orders being issued. Thousands of residents piled up on 75 North to get out of the region, and on Monday, Florida Governor Ron Desantis announced that he directed the suspension of tolls across Central Florida and West Florida, as well as Alligator Alley, in preparation for Hurricane Milton. By suspending tolls in the impacted area, Floridians and visitors will be better able to quickly and safely evacuate. And that's what they're doing. They're all getting out of there, and they don't have to worry about paying tolls. Those tolls will be waived for 7 days. No doubt about it, Milton is stronger than Helene and is aiming for Florida. No other areas are expected to be in its way. So this is super difficult for Floridians forced to deal with 2 major hurricanes just 2 weeks apart. They're still cleaning up from the last hurricane, and then boom, here comes another one. Now, Kamala Harris, she's doing really bad in the polls. So not only is she fighting and clawing for relevancy, but she's desperate doing anything she can for support, which is why she's attempting to make herself a victim right now. Never mind all the hurricane victims from Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, West Virginia. No, forget about all of them and whatever they're going through. We have to coddle Kamala right now. You won't believe this. Her team intentionally leaked reports to the media that she was trying to call Ron DeSantis and he wouldn't pick up the phone. Literally came up with all this drama and used their press to repeat this nonsense on their bought and paid for media, MSNBC. They also used their White House press secretary, Karine, to push a false narrative.
DeSantis refused to take a call from Vice President Harris specifically around Hurricane Milton. Can you just talk about that and any communication around this new hurricane?
Look, that is something for the governor to speak to himself. If you have the president and you have the vice president reaching out to offer up assistance provided to your constituents, the people who live in your state, to make sure we are doing everything that we need to do from a federal response, and we're reaching out, offering our support, that's for the governor. The governor, it's up to him if he wants to respond to us or not. But what we're doing is we're working with state and local officials to make sure that we are pre-positioned, to make sure that we are ready to be there for the communities that are going to be impacted. We are doing the job that is needed, that we believe is needed to protect the communities and to make sure that they have everything that is needed. You heard me talk about the declaration. We approved that for Florida. That's moving forward. And so we're taking this very, very seriously. That's for the governor to speak to. That is.
I don't know what's going on with Karine standing up here with this man's suit literally hanging off her body. She was the one spread the narrative that Kamala was trying to call the governor and he wouldn't answer the phone. But according to Ron DeSantis, he spoke to Biden and the FEMA director. He requested what was needed for his state and they provided everything that he requested. As for Kamala, he said he did not get a call from her and she never talked to him over the last 4 years either.
And Hurricane Helene was a Category 4 storm. It did significant damage to the state of Florida. We've been on this footing now for 2 weeks straight in terms of preparation response. And now we have an even bigger storm that's bearing down, as you pointed out, in a very populated area, potentially could do even more damage. And we've been laser focused on leveraging all resources available, including from the federal government. And I've been in touch with both FEMA and the president, as well as marshaling all our state agencies and working to support our local communities. And so for Kamala Harris to try to say that my sole focus on the people of Florida is somehow selfish is delusional. She has no role in this. In fact, she's been vice president for 3.5 years. I've dealt with a number of storms under this administration. She has never contributed anything to any of these efforts. And so what I think is selfish is her trying to blunder into this. No, and here's the thing.
Has she ever called before?
She has no role. No, she has no role in this process. I'm in contact with the President of the United States. I'm in contact with FEMA director. I'm obviously managing all our state agencies. We're supporting all our local government. And I will say this, I've had storms under both President Trump and President Biden, and I've worked well with both of them. She's the first one who's trying to politicize the storm, and she's doing that just because of her campaign. She's trying to get some type of an edge. She knows she's doing poorly, and so she's playing these political games. I don't have time for political games. I've got people whose lives are on the line. I've got people whose homes and their possessions are on the line, and we are focused 100% on that mission. I'm not worried about playing her political games, and so she is being selfish by trying to blunder into this when we're working just fine.
President, Governor Desantis, NBC is reporting Governor Desantis is ignoring your calls on hurricanes, resources, and help. How does that hurt the situation here?
You know, moments of crisis, if nothing else, should really be the moment that anyone who calls themselves a leader says they're going to put politics aside and put the people first. People are in desperate need of support right now, and playing political games with this moment in these crisis situations, these are the height of emergency situations, is just utterly irresponsible, and it is selfish, and it is about political gamesmanship instead of doing the job that you took an oath to do, which is to put the people first.
Madam Vice President, Milton's arrival, what does it mean for resources?
You turned down calls from both Biden and Harris. Are you saying you're not aware of that? And if so, how are you not aware of that?
So Biden called me a couple days ago with Helene when I was on the helicopter. I didn't have any issues. They had helped us with what we've done. I'm not aware that he's tried to call since then. Certainly hasn't called my phone, so I don't know quite where they're getting that information. At the same time, we got the approvals that we need. If there's something else that we need, I'll hop on the phone very quickly, whether that's the FEMA administrator or the president, and we will press the case to be able to get approvals for what we need in Florida. But we have gotten approvals for everything that we've asked for.
In this area?
I didn't know that she had called, so I'm not sure who they called. They didn't call me, and their characterization of it was something that they did. It wasn't anything that anybody in my office did in terms of saying that it was political.
Given the severity of the storm, since I did want to ask you about politics right now in terms of should
I don't really want to answer questions about this. It's not a time for politics. No, excuse me, Gary. You and your publication will twist anything that's done to try to make a political agenda. That's what you do. That's how you get your clicks. I understand that. I understand that's the business model. Well, but I don't want to talk about politics because, but I have a feeling that however you do, you guys will find a way to frame it. That's just your shtick. I get it. That's fine. But I don't want to participate in it. We have had to respond to a Category 4 hurricane. We've had to prepare and now respond to something that may hit as a major hurricane, may be Category 4, may even be bigger than that. We hope that it does, but that should be the focus. And I think some of these questions are trying to create some type of political angle where there's just none there. What we've asked for has been approved. You're not seeing me out there carping or complaining about anything. We have gotten what we need from the feds. We have been working constructively with all the local communities. We have marshaled an incredible amount of resources in the state of Florida to be able to get the job done. And that's just what we're going to continue to do. That's what we've always done.
Governor, I know Kamala Harris called you selfish. She said she's tried to contact you to talk to you about hurricane relief. And I know that you've said, I think you said she didn't try to contact you. We want to get your response. We don't have the sound, but she said, moment of crisis, if nothing else, should really be the moment that anyone calls himself a leader, says they're going to put politics aside and put the people first. People are in desperate need of support right now and playing political games at this moment in these crisis situations. These are the height of emergency situations. It's just utterly irresponsible and it's selfish and it's about political gamemanship. What's your response?
Well, I think she should look in the mirror. We've been on an emergency footing for 2 weeks straight, round the clock, 24/7. We've been working, my office, our Division of Emergency Management, helping people prepare for Hurricane Helene, helping effectuate rescues of people after Hurricane Helene, helping people pick up the pieces of their lives after Helene, and then have to also turn around and prepare for major impacts and maybe even more impacts from Hurricane Milton, be able to have rescue personnel ready to help people, and then of course help with the power restoration, all these things to do. So that's been my sole focus. My focus has not been on dealing with Kamala Harris. I saw the news report. I didn't know she tried to contact me, but I'd also say it's not about you, Kamala. It's about the people of Florida. My focus is exactly where it should be. And I can tell you this, I've worked on these hurricanes under both President Trump and President Biden. Neither of them ever tried to politicize it. She has never called on any of the storms we've had since she's been vice president until apparently now. Why all of a sudden is she trying to parachute in and inject herself when she's never shown any interest in the past? We know it's because of politics. We know it's because of her campaign. I have zero time to entertain these political games. We're going to continue to do what we need to do to prepare and respond to what may be one of the most damaging storms in the history of the United States. So she says focusing on protecting your people is selfish. I think she ought to look in the mirror.
And right now, Governor, just to conclude, you have what you need from the federal government as well as you feel like you have the resources in place. Is that correct?
Every request we've made, and I've been in contact with the president. I've been in contact with the FEMA director. You know, it's interesting. Harris is not even in the chain of command.
Yeah, what is she even doing?
She has no role in this. I mean, the idea that I should be like worrying about her when I'm focused on the task at hand is just quite frankly absurd. So yes, all of our requests have been answered. We have marshaled all state resources that are available to us. It's going to be a very robust response, but it's going to be a lot of damage, and we're bracing for that. I'd ask everyone to keep us in your prayers. We know we're going to get hit, but hopefully we can pray that this storm will weaken and do the least amount of damage possible.
Kamala, the fake and phony chameleon. Why all of a sudden you're trying to call Florida when Florida has several storms every year? You've been in office for 4 years and never called before. No, never went down there for hurricane preparation or recovery, not even once. Now all of a sudden, she's acting like a mad girlfriend, talking about she called somebody and they didn't answer the phone. This lady is 60 years old. Grow up. She can't lead anybody. She's not good at thinking on her toes. She can't solve any real issues. And nobody expects her to do so, nor do they trust her to do it anyway. No, I'm sorry. This is not a beauty pageant or the Players Club. It's not about you. You are not the center of attention. You have real people impacted by these disasters right now. Physically, mentally, whole towns are ruined. Their local economy is ruined. We're talking about folks destroyed financially. Their homes are destroyed. Their jobs are gone. And up there in North Carolina, she came in there talking about $750. Nah, nobody has time for Kamala and her foolishness. She's not about business. She don't stand on business. And everybody is not like her boule flunkies looking for hugs and pats on the back or a Diddy style party. People are out here trying to put their lives back together, not listen to your baby bot bimbo babble. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Tell me what you think about this mess below. Special thank you to Larry. I appreciate you, Larry, for all of your support for the channel, as well as Mike G, Dark Power, David, Randy, and Starlet. If you want to show your support for the channel too, you have to use PayPal for now. The link is below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.